quick heads up to this 5-minute quickie. It's a lot longer than 5 minutes, but it's not longer than 12, so you're okay. And it's all about just understanding your unconscious mind's intention, the behaviours it's using, and when it's not working, how to change. And understand that you can change, okay? I think you'll find it interesting. I hope you do. Hey, I just want to welcome you to the FMQ, the 5-Minute Quickie podcast. My name's Paul Clough, and I'm part of this unplugged personal development, trying to create this very, very unique niche for you and me, where we can demystify, unplug, make so simple the processes that other people have made so complicated that they're so difficult to understand and actually put into use. So you can use these new processes, old processes, to become the real you. Not the old you, because the old you still had some of the old stuff in, but the real you. So you can shine and grow. You can have all your dreams come true. Make them into your reality. Understand that, yeah, we'll have a few failures on the way maybe, but those failures are just, well, they're just ways of not doing what you want to do. And we can let go of all your fears. So you can actually create your own reality. Be the change you want to see in others and be the change you want to see in yourself and create that wonderful world. So if you like this, it'll only be 5 minutes, but normally a little bit longer. And there are longer podcasts. You see them with the hash sign, and they last for normally about 20 to 25 minutes. But just enjoy. And if there's anything you want me to talk about, please email me. There's information, well, later on. Okay? So stick with it and have some fun.
Warning. You are entering into the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. Too late. Personal Development Unplugged.
Hey, how are you today? How are you doing? I hope you're really well. And what I wanted to do today is to keeping this podcast real. And what I mean by that is real life experiences. I wanted to give you an idea from a client I worked with about how your intention at the unconscious level can be in total conflict with the behaviors that you're experiencing. And we tend to think that like our unconscious mind is doing things against us, but it really isn't. It's trying its very, very best to do the very best it can for us with the wisdom that it had a long time ago, and it hasn't picked up in between all your experiences, all your beliefs, your learnings, and it's just doing the same thing, even more of it. Because I don't know if you've realized that if you are experiencing like a negative emotion or some bad behaviors that tend to go together, and they're not bad behaviors, by the way, they're just not the right behaviors, not appropriate behaviors. And it's as if that feeling is like a snowball. It started off very small, and a long time ago, it's just a little bit. And then over time, it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And now you start to experience those feelings more often and more intense. And this is what had happened to a client I worked with the other day. Lovely girl called Claire, which obviously she's not. Well, she's not lovely, but her name wasn't Claire. And she was a student, or is a student, and right in the middle of her exams. And she was feeling so anxious that she was having panic attacks. She was getting sick, as in physically sick, sleepless nights, and having some really terrible thoughts. And in fact, she had come back from college to come home in between because she just couldn't be there by herself. In fact, when she came back to see me, she was crying in front of my eyes. And that's a horrible thing to see a young girl crying in front of you just because she's so scared. And the thing is, though, I said, you've done one exam. How did you do? And she said, well, I nailed it. I know I did really well. But I just don't like the bit in between. I can do very well at exams, but I just don't want to fail my exams because of all the guilt I'll experience. Oh, I see. There's a little thing at the bottom there, the guilt. But we ask the unconscious mind, would it be okay to change? To let go of the panic attacks, the anxiety, the fear. Because you always have to ask your unconscious mind, is it prepared to change right now? And she got a resounding no, which sort of shocked her a little bit because she was so desperate to change. She knew she wanted to change. She knew she had to change. But her unconscious mind said no. Now, some people might have freaked out at that, but no, it happens. And it's sometimes great that it happens because it means you've really got a connection with your unconscious mind. You're understanding it. So we asked the question, in that case, what's the intention by having these behaviours, these emotions, these thoughts, these beliefs? And she said, well, actually, it helps me focus. That's what it's trying to do. Because if I focus on doing the best I can, I'll be the best I can, and I'll never have any guilt of not doing the best I can. Now, I thought that's a good intention, isn't it? To do the best you can, to be free from guilt. But the problem was, I said, when you're having your panic attack, or you're feeling fear, or you're feeling sick, or you've got those terrible thoughts, what are you focusing on? And she said, well, fear, a failure of the guilt. Well, a bit of a conflict going on here, isn't it? You've got this wonderful friend of yours, your best friend, trying to do the best they can to get you to focus, and the beliefs and the behaviours and emotions it's using is completely in conflict with that. And it may have worked the very first time your unconscious mind did that, because that was all the wisdom, all the experiences it had way back then. And it seems to miss out of all the experiences between then and now. And that's the part we want your unconscious mind to learn. If it learns from the beginning, the root cause, and then finds all your experiences, all the wonderful positive learnings in between, it can use them instead. So when we talk to her unconscious mind, says, do you realize now that actually you want me to focus on passing exams, doing my best, yet all the focus now is on fear, failure, guilt, the exact thing you don't want me to experience. Do you realize there's a conflict? And she said, I just get this really warm feeling that I do understand that, and not just in my intellectual head, my conscious mind, but it just feels right that I need to find a better way. And that was, to me, a resounding yes. So all we had to then do is to say to the unconscious mind, go. We used hypnosis. We used some NLP processes, a little bit of timeline therapy, a bit of everything really. But we found just the right process for her unconscious mind to learn from the very first time, but then be free to find all these wonderful new ways. And it was to see her from the moment she walked in, tearful, upset, frightened, to when she walked out about an hour and a quarter later. The difference was astounding. In fact, I said to her, because we always test our work as best we can in the room, as you think of your exam on Friday, how do you feel? And she said, I'm really looking forward to it now. She said, wow, that's strange, because I really wasn't looking forward to it before, and now I am. And even the words she was using was in the past tense. I was fearful before, and now I'm looking forward to it. And she said, I'm looking forward to learning, to revising, to taking my exams and moving forward and allowing those exams to help me find new opportunities, to be the best I can. And it was just a lovely change. The shift was, well, brilliant. And it can be that quick. That's part of this podcast, is to show real life examples of how it is easy to change. You don't have to suffer with these negative ways, because it's just your unconscious mind trying to do its best. But sometimes it needs a little help to learn. And when it learns and then begins to access all your other resources, all the wonderful positive emotions, empowering positive beliefs to really get that self-esteem and that inner strength, inner power, the real you, that inner confidence, well, you can do anything, and it doesn't take long to change. So I just want you to know you're not alone in the world if this is what's happening to you, or if you know somebody who's having a problem, let them know that it doesn't take too long. They can find help. And sometimes just if they just listen to this podcast, the understanding of there's a conflict will sometimes can just be the switch that you need, or they need, to allow their unconscious mind to go, oh, what a blow. I'm doing the wrong things. Let's find the right things. Because I do believe your unconscious mind, when it realizes what it's trying to do is not working anymore, it has to find a better way. We just have to get it to learn and understand that it's not quite working at the moment. And in fact, it's doing the things that's complete opposite to what it wants for you. When you do that, you become aligned. You become congruent. You become, well, the real you with all that vibrant energy. Hey, I hope that really helps. It's just an example, but it's not the only example I have with all my clients. So the takeaway from this, I hope, is that just ask your unconscious mind, what are you trying to do for me? Positive. And when you get that answer, so you might need to sit quietly, or you might need your Jenny journal and notice what your pen writes. And then when you notice the positive, just say, well, do you realize it's not working? Because I don't feel that. How can we find a better way? What would be a better, healthy, empowering way that I can enjoy? And I think that's the thing, that I can enjoy the process, because that's the one thing you or they are not doing, enjoying the process of doing that particular activity. And the more you enjoy the process, the easier it is, the less energy you have to take. So you can use all that negative, the energy you've used on that negative stuff to burst forward into the wonders of life and enjoy life. There you go. That's just a little snippet from the clinic of Paul Clough. No, just enjoy, and know you're always more than that. Whatever you think you are, you're more than that. And the thing is, when you do change, the ripples of change will go further and wider than you can ever think of, ever imagine. They're wonderful. So enjoy every change, enjoy every heartbeat, and have more fun than you can stand. Speak to you soon. Bye. I know you're just about to go, but here's just a quick, like a heads down, heads up thingy. Few things. One is, if you love your hypnosis tracks, go to paulcloughonline.com/podcast. Get free access to loads of hypnosis tracks. All, well, not all, but as many as the hypnosis tracks you get on these podcasts, and every new one will be there too. And that's all you've got to do. So it's paulcloughonline.com/podcast. Also, while you're there, you might just want to have a little look round to look at the programs I've got. I've got one which is called Supreme Inner Confidence. I think it's a brilliant program, if I say so myself, really to get your self-esteem high, get aligned, get all that inner confidence so you can have the life you want. There's also a lovely program that goes on for quite a bit, but it's also the first 5 days are absolutely free, so you really get to know what it is and make sure it's just for you. And that's all about freeing your life of anxiety. There's a few hypnosis tracks you can actually buy there as well. The Creating Your Inner Mind Palace and Complete Relaxation. Have a look, costs nothing to have a look. And there's even money back guarantees. So just do that. But free hypnosis tracks, they're all there for you. And lastly, please share this with everyone you know, subscribe, do everything you can if you would. It's a great compliment to you if you would, just to share this with people so we can all be part of this family of change and create the ripples of change that go so far and wide. Okay, that was it. Have more fun than you can stand. Bye-bye now. Personal development, unplugged.